All right, welcome everyone, and thank you again for joining us for our final admitted grad student webinar session. So today we're going to talk about clubs and organizations. We have folks here today from Women in Business, and then also Molly's going to speak to the Leadership Academy as well, and then hit on a few points regarding the fellowship program. And then Philip is here. He's an undergrad student that has a big role in the Financial Management Association as well. So he's going to spend some time discussing that club. And then we'll also get into Delta Sigma Pi, which is the professional business fraternity, DSP. And then we can certainly hit on any other clubs as well. We have 11 total clubs / organizations and a couple other, just kind of high level things too regarding other programs that we offer that are, additional points as well of emphasis. So we'll get into that as well. But Molly, I think we'll start with you regarding the Leadership Academy and Women in Business, and then we'll turn it over to Philip. But I'll turn it over to you, Molly. Thank you.
Sure, sounds good. Thanks for having me. Well, first of all, congratulations and welcome to all our new graduate students. So excited to have you here and hopefully get to work with you in the upcoming year. As Matt said, my name is Molly Mcgowan, and I'm a full-time faculty member here in Saunders and teach a variety of courses, but I also am the advisor to our Women in Business organization. And excuse me, I'm the director for the Leadership Academy at Saunders. So we just wanted to touch on a little bit about what those clubs and organizations have to offer. We definitely get a good amount of graduate students who get involved with those programs. So it might be something that is of interest to you when you get here at RAT. So Women in Business. So as I said, we definitely have, I would say, a strong number of graduate students who get involved. Women in Business. There's multiple events that the group does. So first of all, the group usually meets bi-weekly throughout the year. That meeting date is determined in the fall once our executive board of leaders determines the best meeting date with class schedules and such. But we have some signature events that are pretty exciting that we get a wide range of students involved with. So one of those is something we call Women Leading Business. So 1 to 2 times a year, we work with high school students, either in the area or last year we did it virtually, where we have up to anywhere of 80 to 90 high school women who come onto campus for a half-day conference. And our students, so the students running and involved with Women in Business, run that leadership business event for these high school women. It's pretty rewarding. The whole goal is to get young women excited about business and, build a pipeline of high school students, majoring in business. So it's very interactive. We have our students run a speakers panel. We do a project challenge where the high school students compete at the end of the day and they're judged. So that takes a lot of volunteers to make that event run effectively. So it's a great opportunity to jump in and get involved and build your own leadership skills while helping high school women. So that's kind of a cool event. We also do a College Women's Leadership Summit, which is just for college students, and it brings students, faculty, staff, alumni together to do a professional development day, a women's leadership development day, where there's an opportunity to not only learn about different topics that women face or are challenged with in the business environment, but also, again, we have another project challenge kind of on the entrepreneurship side, coming up with product ideas, pitching them, getting feedback. So that's kind of a unique event and a great opportunity to jump in, either as a participant that just attends the event, or if you want to get involved in the planning of that. So that's kind of a nice opportunity. Women in Business also in the past has planned trips. They planned a trip to Silicon Valley where they met with alumni in the San Francisco area and learned about women leading in the tech industry. So that's something that's been done in the past. Lots of service events. If you're into helping the community, they do a Skate for a Cause event in the fall. It's an ice skating event where they raise anywhere from, $500 to $1,000 for a local community. So opportunities like that to do service, and then just social events to build a strong network of women leaders on campus. And we do open up Women in Business to women across the campus, which is kind of nice. So networking events, from things like apple picking in the fall to holiday parties to stress relief nights. So lots of opportunities to connect with other student leaders, build your own leadership skills, and get involved. So I would say those are some of the key things with women in business. The Leadership Academy, which is fairly new to Saunders, it's only in its just finished its second year. But the Leadership Academy was established to continue to help students build leadership skills and really in conjunction or to complement what's going on in the classroom. Certainly you will build your leadership skills, academically in your classes, but from a co-curricular perspective, the Leadership Academy offers lots of different programs for students to meet other students across campus. We have 3 different leadership certificate programs, which are outside of classes, it's co-curricular, they're not for credit. So it's kind of a lighter, more relaxed environment, but a way to have fun, build your networking skills, connect with alumni and leaders, and work on certain aspects of your leadership development. So we always have a strong number of grad students who participate in those programs. As Matt mentioned, the Fellows program is a special leadership program that's under the Leadership Academy umbrella, and it's just for graduate students. So right now we're in the middle of selecting fellows. So originally we tried to have applications in by May 10th, but then we take applications on a rolling deadline after that, but based on qualifications and such. So if that's something that's of interest to you, you can follow up with Matt. We can get you the application. There's a survey link to fill out for the Fellows program, but if you were interested, you should do it in the next probably week or two. But with the Fellows program, you have graduate students who are accepted into Saunders apply. It's an application process. If you were selected, you would receive a scholarship for 60% of your tuition. So that's max. So that's not an additional scholarship, but if you are already receiving like a 50 or 55% scholarship, it would go up to 60%. But what's really unique about that is fellows work with different mentors throughout the year. So you're assigned a mentor in the fall and then a different mentor in the spring. What's really pretty amazing about the program is the mentors themselves. So the majority are RIT alumni, and they're typically CEOs or minimally in the C-suite level. So lots of leadership experience, well connected, and our students get so much. It's a tremendous benefit meeting with these mentors throughout the year. I meet with the fellows every other week, and we work on leadership development topics. And then in the spring, the fellows put on a leadership program. So again, another nice opportunity to build your leadership skills outside the classroom. So those are some of the key things that I'm involved with. Very student driven. I have student teams that help run and develop all those programs. We really believe in giving students the opportunity to kind of shape these programs and develop their skills. One of my fellows from this past year also joined my Student Leadership Academy team, and he helped plan and run the certificate programs for undergrad students. So there's just so many different ways to get involved. So exciting opportunities. Happy to follow up and talk with anybody one-on-one if you're interested in any of the things I just talked about. Does that work, Matt? Any other things you wanted me to touch on or follow up on?
Yeah, no, thank you, Molly. So I do want to, if anyone has questions for Molly on any of those particular programs, definitely feel free to jump in here. I do just want to clarify one point. So the fellowship program is 50% for non-RIT students, and then if you are an RIT master plan student, so those students are getting a 55% award, you would be considered for a 5% bump to 60%. Okay. And that's something special we're doing this year again for RIT students who are on that master plan pathway. But certainly, so folks, any questions for Molly on the Leadership Academy, Women in Business, or fellows before we jump into Philip?
Hi, Molly. Thank you so much for all the information. Really appreciate it. I just had a quick question out of curiosity. Would part-time students be considered for a fellow leadership program?
Unfortunately, at this point, the way the program is structured, it's only for full-time graduate students. Yeah,
Okay, thank you.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a good question, Coltrane. Yeah, it is structured around full-time students at this point. Other questions for Molly? All right, thank you guys. And thanks again, Molly. Really appreciate it. And as Molly said, I mean, I think there's this perception that a lot of this stuff is for undergrads, but that's not the case. We've really, that's part of the reason why we're holding this type of session is we really do want you all to realize and know that while some of your programs may only be a year, there's still quite a bit that you can get out of a lot of these clubs. And it's a lot of professional stuff. I mean, our clubs are, when you think about some of the other ones we have that won't be discussed today, like NGA, the next generation of accountants, they're doing a ton of professional stuff. They're bringing in professional speakers. I know Molly's group does that. Plus, they're giving back to the community too from that sense, especially women in business. They do a lot of community and volunteer work. So all that stuff is there, and it's a great opportunity, to get some exposure, experience, and build connections and network. So yeah, I think it's, that's an important piece as well for all of our students. So,
And I would just say, just so you know, the fellows program is the only program that of everything I just talked about, fellows is the only thing that is for a full-time graduate student. Everything else, the leadership certificates, being on the Leadership Academy board, women in business, all of that can work for the part-time student. So it's just the fellows and the way it's structured. I'll hang on the call in case anybody else has questions or in the chat or anything. But thanks for letting me share.
Yeah, thank you, Molly. All right, Philip, I'm going to turn it over to you. So Philip is, as I mentioned, he's an undergrad student and he's doing a lot of work with the Financial Management Association. I know a lot of grad students do have interest in this particular club. So Philip, I'm going to let you jump in, and again, feel free to share your screen. I know you have some slides that you're going to share, so go ahead with that.
Awesome, perfect. Yeah, I'm going to share my screen right now. So here we are. Okay, perfect. So yeah, my name is Philip Garonsky. Currently, I just finished my second year as a finance MIS double major. And right now I am the tech analyst for the Financial Management Association. I'm going to talk about that right now. So, okay, there we are. So the Financial Management Association, for those that don't know, we manage a portfolio of real money. It's a student-run fund. And each year we try to optimize a portfolio, make sure that we beat the S&P 500. It's worth now around $300,000. And so that's one of our missions, is to discuss, analyze, and optimize the performance of that portfolio. Doing so, we teach all of our members who are interested how to use Bloomberg terminals. A Bloomberg terminal is a very useful resource. It shows us everything we need to know regarding equity analysis. I personally I came into Saunders as an undergrad freshman not knowing anything about Bloomberg terminals or even what it was. And after I joined FMA, I'm now a pro at it and I use it almost every day when I can. It kind of sucks when I'm here back home because I can't use it. I don't have the information I want, but it's an extremely useful resource. I put it on my resume. Definitely when I get interviews, it's something that's talked about. And it's something that the Financial Management Association teaches all of its members. And I think that's very useful. We also try to apply what we learn. When we're not applying it to the portfolio, we're applying it outside in competition, such as the Adirondack Cup. We participated this year. This year was a little bit of a rough year in the market, so I don't think we placed any higher than 5th or 4th place. But last year we placed 3rd overall, outperforming the S&P 500. And it's a great learning experience. There's 4 team members, 2 of which are usually executive board members and 2 of which are members. We don't choose members specifically. If you're interested, you come talk to the executive team. The executive team chooses the other 2 members that join. And we discuss the strategy with the club, so it's not just exclusive to the 4 people within that competition. We make sure to include that into club discussion, and we take ideas from everyone. We make sure that everyone's included. The beauty about FMA is that you don't need to know everything about the markets or everything about equity analysis or stocks. We have people joining from different range of knowledge. People come in, they don't know anything, and people come in and they know everything. Nonetheless, it's a place for everyone, and we make sure that we provide value to those who seek it. And lastly, we also have guest speakers. Actually, 2 months ago, I think in February or March, we had a guest speaker named Blake Gore. He is an advisor when it comes to investment banking and how to tap into that industry. Investment banking is definitely an industry that many finance majors at our school and schools across the country are very interested in getting into. It's very selective. And FMA brought him in as a guest speaker, and he told the members what he knew about getting in and any good advice that he had and how to network and what to expect, how to interview prep, both for the technical interview and for the behavioral interview. And for an hour, we just sat and learned as much as we could about the industry and how to get in. And it was a great value added. So in a general meeting, we usually start off with any new news. We have meetings every Wednesday at 5 p.m. That has been the case for the past 4 semesters, and it's likely going to be the case next semester. So a general meeting overview talks about the news, any new market news that we should talk about. Then we have market discussion. We discuss any new trends, anything that's changing within the markets that we should be worried about. And this usually takes up 20 minutes of the meeting. After market discussion, when we know everything we need to know and we talk about interesting topics, we go into portfolio discussion as that relates to our previous discussions prior to that, and talk about any positions we think about cutting, anything we think about adding to the portfolio. If something's lagging behind, why is it lagging behind? And this is where analysts come in. So our portfolio, and we'll see it in the next slide, our portfolio is comprised of different sectors. There's tech, there's industrials, there's consumer, discretionary, defense, and so on and so forth. And any outstanding members who show initiative and show growth and interest are usually promoted or given the role of analyst. And these analysts are responsible for their individual sectors and reporting on them during portfolio discussion. So on a given Wednesday, if the past week has been a hard week for tech, usually I'm called upon to discuss why and what we should do next. Same thing goes for any other analysts who think that there's something going on with their sector, whether they want to add to their sector and put more capital into that specific sector or take away from it. So it's a great growth opportunity for members. Usually we see freshmen come in and they show initiative, they show interest, and we bring them up to an analyst position, and it's great. It's great to put on the resume. It's great to learn. There's always great discussions between the analysts as well, and I found great value from it, and I love what I do. I love being a tech analyst, and I love talking about it every time we're at a meeting, and I love bringing other freshmen on board and teaching them what I know. And lastly, if there is a pitch set up for that meeting, then we have one. Usually it's a sell or a buy pitch. Anyone could give a pitch. A pitch is just discussing and giving reasons as to why you believe that an equity should be sold or should be bought. Then the club votes on it. If the vote passes, then we implement that change. And if it doesn't pass, then better luck next time. But we encourage everyone to pitch, whether they're new or they've been a member for a while. We're definitely going to have a few graduate members next semester, and we're really looking forward to that. Some have been members for the past 4 years since they've been freshmen, and so it's definitely exciting. And we have members from a wide variety of backgrounds, whether they're finance, MIS, or any major, even from different colleges, engineering. There's a lot of interest in this club, and we definitely open our arms and welcome everyone to come in and learn. And these pitches are a great tool for that. Many members don't know how to formulate a pitch, and that's the role of an analyst. A lot of members come to me and other analysts and look for guidance. And so we tell them how to pitch and what to do, what to look forward to. And that's where the Bloomberg terminals come in. A typical pitch includes many screenshots of Bloomberg terminals, whether it's graphs, financials, a whole variety of things. And in the beginning, for some, it may seem intimidating, but that's what the club is for. It's to help teach its members about finance, investing, equity analysis, so on and so forth, and as well as portfolio optimization. And so in the next slide, you can see the portfolio here. Right now we have 35 positions. The current market value on the Google spreadsheet is a little bit off. If you look on the Bloomberg terminals, it's a little bit higher, but right here it says $276,000, almost 277. That is real money, which is really exciting because not many schools offer a fund like this. Many schools have a imaginary fund with imaginary money, something like on Market Watch. But we're up there with other schools like Cornell, UPenn, and Harvard who have real funds and manage real cash. And we're definitely up there. We have a huge valuation, and it's definitely something to be proud of. I know I'm very proud of it. You can see the sectors right there. There's technology, we have defense, we have healthcare, financials, industrials, and each of those sectors has someone assigned to them, an analyst. And typically it's a great experience. I learned a tremendous amount. It's definitely helped me in my classes as well. It's something I talk about frequently to others who are interested. And I included my email in the beginning of the slides. I'll circle back, but if anyone has any questions, please feel free to email me. We also have a Discord. If you're interested, I could definitely add you to the Discord. That's for general discussion. Many people can't make the meetings on Wednesdays, and so instead they choose to participate through the Discord and discuss there. And of course, the executive team and all the analysts are active on that as well. So yeah, I mean, that's a brief overview of FMA. If anyone has any other questions, please let me know.
Thank you, Philip. That's awesome. That's a great overview. Really appreciate you sharing that. Any questions from folks? I think the biggest thing that, Philip mentioned is that this club is, again, it's open to anybody. You don't even necessarily have to be business, but obviously all of you are going to be studying business. But regardless, it's certainly something that, is worth, just checking out and, getting a feel for it and just, attending a couple meetings to see what it's all about. But as you can see from Philip's presentation, it's well structured and they have a very well, structured plan and what they're doing. So it's a good opportunity.
Yeah, it's definitely exciting because next semester we'll be pushing for more guest speakers and a more involved executive team. So we're definitely shooting for value and giving as much value to new members as possible. So it's exciting stuff. Thank you.
All right, thanks again, Philip. I really appreciate that info, and we'll certainly pass along any questions I get as well if anything comes up. So Peggy, I guess I'll have you if you want to talk about DSP. I'm not sure where Casey is, but yeah, just briefly discuss that and kind of what that looks like, and we'll go from there.
Let me see. I have not been heavily engaged in DSP, so I'll be very forthright on that. I'm one of the faculty staff members of the organization, but one of the things that I do have to say about DSP is it's an incredibly inclusive organization of graduate and undergraduate students, really focused on enhancing their business skills and the values of the high ethical standards, the management skills, and a sense of developing community. It's a really dynamic group of individuals who provide service both to the college and to the community. So I would encourage you to look at their website a little bit, and if you've got any interest at all, I'll put you in touch with one of the current officers. But it is another option within the College of Business. The other thing I would really add is RIT as a university has over 200 clubs that students can find ways to become engaged in the RIT community at large. If there's something you have interest in and you don't see it as one of the clubs, students have gone out and we encourage new clubs to be started. So I encourage you to get involved beyond just your academics and really seriously give consideration to the quality of your experience here at RIT, don't just come here, get involved in your academics and leave it at that. Take advantage of the athletics opportunities on campus, the different activities, sports related, as well as the different cultural clubs.
Yeah, thanks for mentioning that, Peggy. Again, there's, I just shared a link with all the different clubs we have within Saunders. But as Peggy mentioned, there are, I know we have a couple students, undergrad students on the call, but there's upwards of 300 plus clubs, interest-based, sports-based, club sports, all that stuff, that just about anything you can honestly think of, there's probably a club for it. And if there's not, you can look at starting one. So there's, a lot of opportunity there. Just a couple highlights from the Saunders Clubs in that link there. So we have a couple that I think are worth mentioning. I mentioned NGA, Next Generation of Accountant. So that is a accounting club. They bring in, again, a ton of guest speakers. It's, tied professionally in a lot of different ways. Business Technology Professionals, the short for BTP. That is really, a lot of that was born out of the MIS program, but any student who wants to be involved in that business-wise, and again, even non-business students are involved in that club as well. We also have AMA, so the Marketing Association Club. That's another club that we have as well. But check out that link. There's a lot of different opportunities there to get involved, and certainly reach out to those contacts that are listed on the website, or reach out to myself or Peggy just to get more information on any of the clubs you're interested in, and we'll put you in touch with the folks that are involved in those clubs. So any questions from anybody regarding clubs, organizations, or again, anything related to getting started here in the fall? Nope, all good.
Yep,
All right.
Connecting, logging in to audio.
Yeah, it looks like they're having a little
Okay.
trouble. Cool. All right. Well, so again, as I did last time, I'm going to stop the recording, and then if folks have questions related to, again, starting here in a couple months in the fall, certainly feel free to stay on, and we can discuss those. But I want to thank everybody for jumping on. Thank you, Philip and Molly. Really appreciate it. That was great information. Certainly stuff we will share out with students, that weren't able to come, and a lot of this has been viewed, after the fact. But really appreciate it. And thank you again, all of you guys, for attending. I know most of you have been frequent attenders at these, so we really appreciate it. We hope it was, valuable process. But yeah, certainly reach out again if we have questions. And congrats on being admitted again. And we'll look forward to seeing you here in a few short months. Thank you, guys.